Oil prices have come down of late, and that's good for the economy. One might think it's not good for oil companies, but that's not true in all cases. With oil in the $75 to $85 per barrel range, U.S. fracking and Canadian oil sands are less attractive sources for new oil. Costs run $40 to $70 per barrel in North America. The lowest cost oil in the world comes out of Saudi Arabia at about $5 per barrel. The second lowest cost producer, delivering 1 million or more barrels per day, is in Nigeria at about $15 per barrel. The world still consumes 90 million barrels a day, so the search for new sources is ongoing. In this price environment, global producers are looking for lower price sources in more exotic regions of the world to meet the ongoing demand. Houston-based Hydrocarb Energy produces oil each day, every day in Galveston Bay, Texas. The cash flow provides their fuel to explore in other parts of the world for huge finds at a lower cost. Mike Watts, Investor Relations Advisor of Hydrocarb Energy, is here today to tell us about the current state of the company and their ambitious plans for the future. Welcome to New to the Street, Mike.
Thank you, Erica. It's nice to be here.
So before we begin to talk about Hydrocarb Energy, tell us about your experience in international oil exploration and development.
Well, Erica, our little company is small from a size proportion, but the experience is very deep. I myself have spent many months in Africa, probably totaling over a year and a half over a period of 2 or 3 years. And that was back in the mid part of the decade, 2005 timeframe. And we secured at that point in time, our family, who was a part of the Hyperdynamics company at that time, secured the largest offshore concession in all of Africa. It was off the Republic of Guinea.
Give us the overall view of the company.
Well, our model, Erica, is this. We look to the United States, domestic, as our producing. We are an E&P company. That's exploration and production. But the production part of our company we keep here in the United States. And we have a field, 4 fields actually, in the southeast part of Texas in Galveston Bay. And then the exploration part, what we're trying to do is create a cash engine so that we can produce the monies that we need to go international. The international is the exciting part of our company. And in Africa, we think that's one of the greatest opportunities that there is.
A lot of untapped resources there. So Mike, can you give us more detailed information, your Galveston Bay operation? Tell us about it. How's that going, and how does the company achieve its goals?
Well, Galveston Bay was originally discovered in the 1960s and 70s by Exxon. Okay. Exxon drilled over 140 wells. They have produced over 30 million barrels out of these fields and over 1 trillion cubic feet of gas. When the company got it, when Galveston Bay actually obtained this oil field, they were at 0, and they brought them back on to where we have about 30 of those wells producing somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 250 barrels a day. We have an ongoing program right now to take another look at another 15 or 20 of those wells, go back into them, recomplete them, and bring that production up. And our expectation is somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 to 800 barrels a day. And that will be very significant for our little company. It will create a very nice cash flow and do good things for us, and we're excited. So that's our plan within Galveston Bay.
Okay. Can you give us more detailed information about your operations in Namibia, Africa?
Africa is 4 times the size of the United States. It is virtually unexplored. The way I like to look at Africa is kind of like if you had the opportunity to go back to Texas or Oklahoma 100 years ago, before they found Spindletop, which was outside of Beaumont, came in at 100,000 barrels a day, or the East Texas oil fields, or West Texas, Permian Basin, all these things that you've heard of, all these areas that you've heard of. It's like going back to that time and being able to look, I have a free look, and be able to put a concession the size of New Jersey. We have a concession that's 5.3 million acres. How valuable would that be to be able to put a concession that large over, say, East Texas? That's what Namibia is like. It hasn't been looked at, yet it's in a very large basin. And a basin is where you find oil and gas. That's where you have sedimentary depositions, where you have little oil, where you have plants and animals that have been packed down, and you have great amounts of sand. So you have the right system and the right situation to find oil and gas.
Okay, can you tell us about what Hydrocarb hopes to achieve throughout 2015 and where you hope the company will be 1 year from now?
Obviously, we think that the Africa opportunity is tremendous. We've already done some work. We want to continue that work. When I say work, we've done some seismic lines. We've got some field studies. We've had oil seep studies. We've taken all this information. We took it to a petroleum engineering firm called Needle & Sewell. For a lot of people, they don't know who Needle & Sewell is, but they're one of the largest petroleum engineering firms in the world. And it's like saying you have a report from Goldman Sachs if you're a stock analyst. Needle & Sewell is very good. We thought we had something very special. We took it to them, and they said, you know what, Hydrocarb, if all this information that you have is correct, we can see that there is a potential. We're not saying absolutely, but there's a real potential. You could have as much as 1.1 billion barrels. So that's a very, very large number. And I don't say it flippantly because I don't want to lose credibility. But again, remember, it's a completely unexplored area, and it's very, very large. So for 2015, we would like to advance those studies, get more studies, bring that information into a higher level of credibility, and then hopefully, we've already announced that we're talking to joint venture partners, and those partners will come in and help us develop that and make it very real.
Well, we thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to future updates about Hydrocarb Energy. If you want to learn more about Hydrocarb Energy, you can visit hydrocarb.com or newtothestreet.com.